Hi, this is Ashley Danielle from ashleydanielle.com, and I want to talk a little bit more about why harnessing your intuition amplifies your manifestation abilities and why I think that it's super important to not discredit your innate, your internal GPS, your intuition. So most of the people, I would say all of the people that come to me, whether it's friendships, clients, things like this, generally tend to consider themselves to be empathic or intuitive. And this is, well, I believe everybody has these abilities. And it's just a matter of whether or not you uh, surrender yourself to your intuition or connect with your intuition. And for me, I believe intuition to be the connection that you have to your soul, the connection that you have to your higher self, and the ability to see and sense beyond what your eyes and your physical body can see and sense. And so, of course, having this, quote unquote, sixth sense will help you in your manifestation abilities and also help you connect to the desires that are most aligned to your growth and your progress, therefore impacting the world, right? So, the first thing that I want to say is when you are harnessing and utilizing your intuition, it really makes the process of manifestation feel so much easier because um it's almost like a magnet, right? Not a magnet in which things are pulled to you, but a magnet in which you have multiple options and your intuition can be like, boom, that one, right? So like circumstances can change or opportunities can or will actually drop into your lap and it's like, is it this one? And it's like, yes, no, maybe so, right? And when you hone your inner GPS, when you hone and trust your intuition, it makes taking the inspired action, it makes choosing the correct opportunity or the correct circumstance or option feel easier and also um so okay, so what I'm seeing is truly, I believe that it doesn't matter what path you take, you're going to end up where you're going to end up, right? Like, so if you start out at point A and you want to get to point Z, it doesn't matter if you go B, C, or D, like you're going to get to point Z at some point, regardless. And when you use your intuition, when you are allowing yourself to be, what they're showing is like when you allow yourself to be moved, when you allow yourself to be guided, the process will go more quickly and more easily. So it's like when you trust your intuition, when you know, trust your they're saying instincts even. It's almost like you get to go with the flow and things get to be so much easier. And this is probably one of my favorite things with my clients is when they make this connection internally and they're able to like shut out what not it's not a complete shutout, right? Of like logic and reason, but they're able to like, no, I know that this is right for me. I know that this is my next step. It's like the floodgates open and it becomes so much easier. And it's like what they're showing is it's like things can move at warp speed because you're not seeing all of like the not blocks, but like the hindrances, like the they're showing like go with the flow, right? It's like a river. And when we're trying to like be like, okay, so if you're trying to manifest a relationship and it's like, okay, but I'm not going to go on this dating app and I'm only going to do this and I have to meet my person, in person, right? And it's like it's just like creating all of these boulders that make the flow so much more difficult when you could just like trust your intuition and it like moves the boulders and like you just kind of sail through, right? And that's what they're showing, right? So it's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor for using your intuition, because with our brains and with our eyes, like we can only see from the lens of our lived experience, but like our soul, our guides, our intuition, they're not limited by that. So it just makes it easier, and it makes it easier to trust the process, and it makes it easier to take the inspired action. And and it's not even that it's easier, it just feels simple, right? A lot of times it's not easy. It's not easy necessarily to go against the grain or to, like shut out what's happening in your 3D world and trust, right? Like that's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. And the more simple it is, the more sustainable it is, and the more like you can repeat, you can replicate it in your own life. So it helps you disregard slash detach from the outside. So like for example, I've had things, and clients have had things where it's like, if they were to talk about it with like normal people, I lovingly refer to people that don't subscribe to my beliefs as normal people, just probably problematic, but it is what it is. If we try to have these conversations with normal people, they'll be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you should do this, and like, that's not the way the world works, and blah 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 blah. And it can be dysregulating, and it can be off-putting. Like it can make you feel like you're doing something wrong, or like the option that your soul is calling to you doesn't make sense, because oftentimes it doesn't make sense to normal people. It doesn't make sense to, like the logical side of things. And this is where coaching really really can help, and some of the work that I do with my clients is like figuring that out for themselves, and how to make decisions that feel safe in their physical body, while also following their intuition, following their soul, so that they can, get the desired outcome. But even more than just getting the thing, right? It's like feeling really fucking good in the process, and feeling really good in the having and the receiving and the holding of the thing. I'm looking at my notes. I took notes because I tend to ramble a bit. It helps you to know when the right opportunities present themselves, right? Like if you have two choices, if you have multiple choices, right? Like, I'm seeing it's like a game, right? Like if you can go down this trail or this trail or this trail, it's like when you learn to harness your intuition, when you learn to trust yourself so deeply, it doesn't matter. Like it's not that nothing matters, but nothing matters besides like what you know in your bones to be true. It's like things start happening at a speed and ease that feels almost unnatural. I want to be careful saying these things because I know it sounds really woo, but that's the long and short of it. So I hope that this helps, and you can put questions in the comments, or, feedback, anything. I would love to hear your greatest takeaway on this.